Hi, this video is a teacher mommy tag video. So in the video, I'll be answering 5 questions about what it's like to be a teacher and a mom. The tag was started by Deanda. Her channel name is just Deanda. There are 2 other teachers currently participating, but hopefully there will be more. When you're done watching my video, scroll down and check them out. I'll have a link to Deanda's channel, and I'll also have a link to Melissa from Teacher Inspiration Station and Monet from TIC Life. So check theirs out when you're done, because the whole point is to get tips from multiple teachers. If we haven't met yet, my name's Natalie Priester. I'm a teacher in Southern California. I've been teaching for a long time, is just all I'll say about that. My video mostly has videos about blended learning, building relationships with students, and books, lots of teacher books. However, I also recently started a mommy vlog. I didn't think I'd ever be a mommy vlogger, like I never thought that, but I can't just have a teacher vlog or a mom vlog. Like, it has to go together because my daughter is integrated into my life so much, and she's just adorable anyway. So if you have a second, you can check that out too. Let's get going with these questions. I'll be peeking down at my notebook to read them as we go. Here we go. First one. How many children do you have and how old are they? I already said daughter. I have one daughter. She is currently 16 months old. Now, I have to say this, if you are someone who's not a mom yet, you might have been in my shoes as a teacher. For the longest time, like almost 20 years, people, I swore I was never having kids because my students were so important and they were my kids. And I had this big fear that becoming a mom would make me an ineffective teacher. So I was like, no, my students are my kids. My students are my kids. I don't want to have kids. Okay, I was wrong. Being a mom is like the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I don't want to get all sappy here, but I love my daughter a lot, and I'm really grateful that I am a mom. I got a little bit later start than most, which I also think is a really good thing too, but okay, enough about that. I can share you my deepest thoughts about becoming a mom later or in person sometime, but my daughter's 16 months, and she's adorable. Second question, were you a parent or a teacher first? I already answered that one. I was definitely a teacher first. And I was one of those teachers who was at the school all the time. Let me see, in my first teaching assignments, oh my goodness, I was volleyball coach, basketball coach, softball coach. I was a Girl Scout troop leader. I was at the school all the time. I loved chaperoning dances and staying late and helping at football games. I did all that stuff. At my next teaching assignment, I continued to just add on multiple things. I did ASB, I did yearbook, I coached some more volleyball. I just would stay after school and have kids in my classroom. I would take kids to coffee, take kids on hikes on the weekend. I mentored kids. I was at a residential school and I was super involved in the community. Like, there were days, I remember homecoming week one year, where I would get home at like 10:30 and then wake up and leave for work again at like 5 or 6 the next morning, and I did that all week. So I used to be a super duper overachiever, as you can tell, and one of those people who was super duper committed to kids. And I just want to point that out because I thought that being a mom would not let me be able to still be a good teacher, and I can't spend that much time at school anymore. Like, that's actually one of my priorities, is to not spend that much time at school. Like, I say no to things all the time. But it's okay, it doesn't mean I'm a bad teacher. It actually means I'm being a more effective teacher because I'm super duper focused on my classes and them actually learning instead of getting distracted by all those extracurriculars. I know those are important, and I know people on the school team can pull their weight on those, but right now, my daughter's where my weight's going, so my weight's going. That already happened when I was pregnant. Anyways, my daughter's where my time is going. Maybe one day I'll be going back to that, but I'll probably never be that crazy overachiever again. I want to be an overachiever at delivering quality instruction to my kids now, instead of trying to be the like everything on campus. Okay, I'm totally going off on tangents on this thing I thought I wasn't going to. Question number 3. Do you send your children to daycare during the breaks or when we have the holidays off? I do on the like longer ones. I take some time and I do leave my daughter with her sitter so I can get work done. Making these YouTube videos, it takes a little bit of time, guys. I also present at conferences and I do PD for districts, and so I need time to prep those things. I also need time to prep my class, take care of my home, and sometimes I do go ahead and use a sitter for that because it's really hard for me to sit and get work done on the computer when she's here. And it's not just because she's distracting. Like, she can play with her toys and she's really good at entertaining herself. By the way, I don't do screens, so she doesn't get to watch TV, but she'll go like do creative play so I can get work done. But I can't really focus while she's here. After she gets some independent play done, she says like book, and hands me a book, and I feel that tug to hang out with her. And so my balance is to leave her with the sitter so I don't go crazy. I do try to get things done at night also, but man, during the summer, I'd rather just go like hang out with the neighbor. I'm in total summer mode. Number 4, what advice would you give to a teacher who is pregnant with her first baby? I made a whole video about this. I made a video that's about surviving your first year as a teacher mom. I'll put the tags to it below and it'll pop up in a card up here too. So I have a ton of things about this, and I want to include something in here for you now though while you're here. First thing is go to HR, like right now. Go to HR, talk to them, and figure out what the deal is with your days, because I had saved up a ton of sick days that I was able to use for my maternity leave, like over 50 people. I had a lot. And I used all of those up. I didn't have to use Family Medical Leave Act, and I was able just to take my time off with my daughter. However, I missed a year of tenure because I had just changed districts, and they said that it didn't count for a year of tenure for the district. Now, it did count for my pay increase on the salary schedule, but it didn't count for a year of service. So I'm doing my evaluations 3 years in a row now. So talk to HR, ask them all the questions, find out everything you can, make a friend in the HR office, and bugger, ask her all the questions and get the answers in writing so you know what is going on. Also do reading. I did a lot of reading when I was pregnant, like insane. I read 75 books that year. I read so much, and a lot of them were mom books. This one is one that I recommend. It's called The Girlfriend's Guide to Pregnancy, or Everything Your Doctor Won't Tell You. I actually like this one the most because it didn't scare the living daylights out of me, and it was easy, not a ton of medical stuff. It was things that I really needed to know. I also read a book called Work, Pump, Repeat, but I didn't get a paper copy of that. This one my college roommate gave to me. I read Work, Pump, Repeat, and that helped me navigate the pumping situation, and it made me feel more confident going into school and dealing with that because I knew what my rights were when it came to pumping, and I did have a little bit of a conflict with that, and it helped me to know that I was okay and that I could work my way through it. What else to tell you? I could just go on. It's gonna be the best thing ever. Like, being a mom is amazing. Oh, you know, I said talk to HR, schedule. Try to get as much time off as you can. If your family can make any commitments or anything to get you more time, do it. When I was pregnant, I thought I would get bored at home. I was like, what am I gonna do with this maternity time? I know it's important too. It's my cat. What am I gonna do with this maternity time? Like, I'm gonna go stir crazy and all this time off. And I actually made all these like really serious plans. I was gonna become like blogger and do all these things. No, dude, I did one. And then I just hung out with my daughter. And that was what I wanted to do. And I actually was able to have 5 months with her because my pregnancy lined up with summer vacation, and I still didn't want to go back to work. So get as much time as you can because it's really, really good. I'm pointing that way. She's sleeping on the couch over there. I see her cute little feet. Get as much time off so you can bond with your kid. You're going to enjoy it. Guess what? Your classroom's not going to burn down. You are not that important. Like, really. No. Hey, Blake. Get your booty out of my shot. It's okay to go ahead and leave. I read more books. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. I read more books. Oh, was it Lean In? I read Lean In for sure, but I read a lot of books about like working mom stuff, and the biggest thing was like, no, the world's not gonna end if you leave your workplace. And I think as teachers sometimes we get this feeling that like we're the only important thing in our classroom. Like, we have to be there. It's not gonna function, or the kids aren't gonna learn. I don't know why, go away, dude. I don't know why we think like that, but it's not true. Like, your kids will be fine with the sub. Sure, it won't be probably as great as when you're there, and they might go crazy and misbehave like mine kind of did, but it's not the end of the world. Like, your kids will still learn, your admin will help out, the teacher next door will help out, your para-educators will help out, your kids' parents will help too. Your job is to focus on your own child at that time. And I think we're so pressured to believe that like it's so important to care about our students, and we think that's really important that it's hard to say like, no, my own child is more important, but they are. Like, that's your job as a mom. Your students' moms all love the living daylights out of them, or someone in place of the mom does, as with some of the students I worked with. But there's someone there to love and love and love on your students. Your job is to love and love on your kid as much as you hope every single one of your kids' parents love on your kid when they go home. Man, my kids get confusing, huh? Because I say kids, students, kids, students. You get the idea. Next thing, number 5. What is the most challenging and rewarding thing about being a teacher mom? Well, the most challenging thing is really, really obvious, in case you haven't said yet. It's hard for me to miss my daughter when I'm at work. Now, when I'm actually teaching and I'm staying busy, I don't miss her as much because I get really like focused and caught up in what I'm doing, and so I keep things moving fast, I'm okay. If it's a day where like I'm proctoring testing and I'm just sitting there, oh, I miss her the worst on those days. It's really hard. If I'm sitting in a boring meeting, oh my God, it's the worst. You know what makes it even worse is if that boring meeting is after school or it runs late. I get this like twitching, like I have to go home to see my daughter now. At first, I might have been twitching because I need to go home to feed her. But later it was because like I want to go home and see her. Like the sitter can wait and everything, but I wanted to go home. I always want to go home to see my daughter. So that's the hardest thing, is when people don't respect the time and they just want to drone on or go on. And most of the time I've noticed the people that do that aren't the people with kids. The people with kids are like, we're out of here. And I remember I used to like judge these people, like, oh my God, they think their own kids are so important. What we're doing at this school is like the most amazing thing. We need to be committed to the school. I didn't get it. I was like one of those bratty, like single young teachers that just thought that like your own kids are fine. Our school is more important. No. The other thing is, what's the most rewarding thing about being a teacher mom? This is part of the last question. The most rewarding thing is that I have rediscovered this like appreciation for learning, because I watch my daughter learn all the time. Like, of course, the milestones like her walking and learning to use her fork and all those things are cool, but all the little tiny things, like she makes jokes now. Like I go to kiss her and she licks my face and she laughs hysterically. Like I'm like, you made your own joke, kid. You're really funny. Or she'll like jump up and like smile. Like she just does things that she thinks are funny. I'm like, you're getting a sense of humor now. Or she's learning more and more words, and all those little tiny things just remind me of how much kids can learn. But it's also challenging my thinking because I'm seeing how much she learns without formal schooling, and how much she enjoys learning, and how she claps and claps when she figures something out. And I want my students to feel that same way. I want them to have that joy, but also being a mom has instilled this like drive to be a really, really effective teacher. Like I want to teach my students as much as I can so they will be prepared to be better adults. And I used to be somebody who was super duper innovative. I'm like, I want to do every innovative thing. Give me every shiny tool. I want to do everything new. Okay, I did all that stuff, but my kids were going to college without proper writing and reading skills. And in my old age, I've learned that that was a horrible thing to do. Oh, she just woke up. Hang on. So I think what I was talking about was about how being really innovative was really bad, how I've realized that lately. And that's because that whole being innovative and trying everything new and using everything, that was about me. It wasn't about the students. And being a mom has made me more about her than myself. And as a teacher, it's making me more about the students than myself. So I'm not as much about like, let me post what we're doing and have people think that I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm older, so I know when I'm doing a good job, first of all. Second of all, sometimes the real learning isn't things that are really worth taking pictures of or showing off. It's just the kids sitting at their desks and reading, or sitting in a small group with me and reading. And being a mom has made me less self-centered and more about the young humans in my care and putting their needs first. So as a teacher, it's making me put my own students' needs first before like making anything look good or fancy. I'm just doing it so kids can learn. Let's see here. I am done with the questions now. My question for you is, if you are a mom, what are your tips for other teacher moms, leave those down below. Just leave 1 or 2 tips, so hopefully if other teachers see this video, they can scroll down and go see some of your tips to learn from you also. Remember, I did make another video. Its official title is How to Return to Work After Baby. And so you can go check that out on my channel. I'll put the links down there and up here in a tag. Go check out the other teachers' videos. That'll be down below too. If you want to see more of my videos, of course, please subscribe. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more like this, hit the subscribe button. If you hit the alert, you'll be alerted so you won't miss any of my videos. If you love this video, please share it with your teacher friends. Speaking of friends, we should be friends. My social media links are down below. I am the most active on my Instagram. I am currently alternating between sharing pictures of like our family life, cool stuff we're doing, and Nuari's books. I try to get a lot of really diverse books on there and smart girl books, not princess books. I've been posting those as school starts and I get back into school mode more. I'll be posting some of my middle schoolers' books and a lot of the adult books that I read, a lot of the teacher books that I read. I plow through teacher books. I work on reviewing them on here. I don't always get around to it, but I for sure try to update on Instagram with what I'm reading. So check all of that out. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, check out the other videos in the tag. I'll see you next time. Bye. You want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye? We were at the pool today. She's really sleepy. Bye.